Straight ahead on 12 News, a slap shot and score for Plymouth. We'll have more on the big hockey tournament making its way to the local suburb. Plus, coming up with a solution for water-filled yards in Robbinsdale. And later, Cooper High School students take us through years of television history. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow.
And I'm Shannon Slatton. High school hockey fans in Plymouth will have a chance to see a premiere event in March of 2018.
And thanks to Wayzata Youth Hockey and the City of Plymouth, the USA Hockey National Tournament is coming to the Plymouth Ice Center. As Eric Nelson found out, this is a huge deal that will have a positive impact on the city.
This is great hockey to come and watch. The junior gold teams are very talented, and it is the best of the best.
In March of 2018, the puck will stop here at the Plymouth Ice Center.
I would encourage people to come out and give it a view, see the tournament, and they're going to find out there's a really competitive level of hockey that's being played.
The USA National Tournament will feature the creme de la creme of prep hockey, as 32 teams flock to Plymouth for the 4-day event.
It's cool to have it here. I mean, we just won it, and now it's back home.
Landing this tournament is a coup for Plymouth. It will provide an economic boom for hotels, restaurants, and other businesses in the city.
So they're going to need hotel rooms, they're going to be looking for entertainment, for restaurants, they're going to be buying equipment and really staying in our community and adding to the vibrancy of it.
Between 800 and 900 hotel rooms will be full, which gives Plymouth a chance to expose the city's brand.
It puts our hockey schools on the map, it puts the city of Plymouth on the map, it puts the Plymouth Ice Center on the map.
It's really a chance, I think, to showcase all that we have to offer in Plymouth, and I'm really excited that people from all over the country will be here to see what we have.
With this major hockey event on the horizon, the Ice Center will undergo some changes, such as roof repair and replacing the Freon system with ammonia. The city also wants to shrink the rink.
I think one of the big improvements that really the hockey teams want to see is to take this Olympic-sized rink down to a professional-sized rink.
In Plymouth, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Minnesota has never hosted the tournament before. Wayzata's junior gold team won last year's event, and that was held in Virginia.
When lawmakers return to the state capitol in January, they will start work with a hefty surplus. Minnesota's budget office announced a surplus of $1.4 billion for the 2018-2019 fiscal years. State Representative Lyndon Carlson of Crystal says the forecast is good news, but lawmakers need to refocus efforts to make the surplus work for ordinary Minnesotans. It's a sentiment also shared by House DFL leader Melissa Hortman of Brooklyn Park. Republicans are in charge of the House and are expected to have a one-seat advantage in the Senate after recounts are completed.
A Maple Grove medical device firm has reached a deal to be sold to a Pennsylvania company for $1 billion. Vascular Solutions makes a large array of medical products for the circulatory system. According to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal, Vascular Solutions has 575 workers and generates about $147 million in annual revenue, making it the 8th largest medtech company in Minnesota. The company's CEO, Howard Root, was acquitted earlier this year on charges that his business illegally promoted a device for unapproved medical uses.
A labor rally in Maple Grove got the attention of the state Thursday night. Workers rallied outside Finish Line Express in Maple Grove, a company they say is the sister company to Lakeville Motor Express, where they used to work. The company dismissed the union workers without advance notice and without pay just before Thanksgiving.
So I want the people in these buildings to understand that they cannot just get away with this. We're not going to let this happen. And we are standing here with you.
The lieutenant governor says she is working with the Department of Labor and Industry to try to get the workers their pay. Legally, the company did not have to notify the state when laying off less than 100 workers. They barely missed that cutoff, laying off 95 truck drivers and dock workers. Over the past few months, we've seen above average temperatures and above average rainfall during a time when we typically see freezing temperatures and snow. As DeLeon Cleveland reports, the strange weather has had unpleasant consequences for some Robbinsdale residents.
In the land of 10,000 lakes, lakeside property is prime real estate. But when water forms in the middle of your backyard, it's not quite what some homeowners in Robbinsdale had in mind.
We've got a number of homeowners that are quite frustrated by it. They've had the water in their backyards probably since July.
Richard McCoy is Robbinsdale's Public Works Director. He says the standing water affects property sitting in low-lying areas, such as some of the homes along Lake Drive.
The water table will naturally come up as the lake level comes up. So any ground that is below the current lake level will be underwater.
The problem directly correlates to the water level of Crystal Lake, which is currently 2 feet higher than normal. Because Crystal Lake doesn't have a natural outlet, the city has to pump the water out of the lake into Minneapolis. But the consistent rainfall has made that task challenging.
We've seen, a half-inch event this week followed by an inch event the following week. We just can't keep up. So as a consequence, the lake level has stayed very, very high.
For some perspective on the rainfall amounts,
a very wet year preceded by 3 years that were above normal as well.
We turn to New Hope weather watcher Steve Records for this year's rain total.
40.4 inches of rain up through November, and that's 8.5 above normal. So we didn't get a drop in December. We'd be above normal by a significant amount.
The above normal rainfall has done wonders for his lawn, but not so much for those in low-lying areas near Crystal Lake.
And we're going to have a look at the details and see if there's some way that we can potentially recommend to residents that they take action that might help the situation.
Yet exactly what that action is remains to be seen.
We are at the mercy of what nature throws out at us.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
City officials will meet with the Robbinsdale City Council during a work session on Tuesday to discuss the available options for residents affected by that standing water.
Our next story is one you really have to see to truly appreciate. Every year, Allianz Life forms a human chain to move food and clothing donated by employees outside to big trucks that will go to local nonprofits. The chain starts on the second floor and goes down the stairs through the lobby and then out to the awaiting trucks. It's a day full of fun and celebration for employees.
The last part of November into December, we are collecting this food, clothing, cash. There's a lot of fundraising activities, raffles, and bingo. So this is the big day, though, when it all comes together.
The goals are ambitious, too. Listen to this, 20,000 pounds of food for Prism, 15,000 pounds of clothes for ARC, and 75,000 in cash for Second Harvest Heartland. A donation of toys will be made to Toys for Tots later in the season. And Alex, they were all having a good time out there.
And I've been there in years past, so bundled up. This year, some without even coats.
I know. They probably don't mind that at all.
That's right.
Coming up, an original production that takes us through years of television's past.
It is the latest play at Cooper High School. We'll have a preview next. And then a little bit later in sports, early season girls basketball highlights as Cooper takes on Armstrong.
But first, a chill in the air. Temperatures stay in the 30s this weekend. This weekend, Cooper High School is charged and ready to give you a multiple blast from the past.
It is a television stroll back in time. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat.
This weekend, travel back with Cooper High School to some of your best television memories from the 60s, 70s, and 80s as they present their original theatrical production of Flashback.
I really think that kids, through this process, have sort of discovered that TV really was a little bit better back then.
We've been hit, Captain!
Captain Kirk, Rod Serling, and one of the Wild and Carezza guys from a Saturday Night Live skit are just a few of the characters Josh Levitt plays.
When we were writing everything at the beginning and doing some research and all sorts of stuff, I watched all my shows, and I would watch even just the first 5 minutes of a Twilight Zone episode to see Rod.
Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Mercer has encouraged the Cooper students to take full ownership of the creative process from concept to finished product.
A lot of high schools don't do original shows that I've seen. Like last year we wrote our own show, and this year we're doing TV shows, and it's special because it's unique and it's ours.
My headlock has been looking very listless lately. Do you know anything about headlock?
it's fun to play the TV shows that your parents watched because you didn't know they existed yet.
Please, don't squeeze the Charmin.
Jacqueline Gisvold plays Laverne in A Bit from Laverne and Shirley.
You study the TV show itself first, so you want to like watch enough episodes where you sort of get the feel of the whole show, like the things that are iconic about the show.
There are too many favorites to mention, and I give this show a rating of TMF for too much fun. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
Flashback is at Cooper High School this Friday and Saturday nights, and show times are 7 p.m. You can name all of them, can't you? We probably shouldn't admit that, but yeah. Coming up, a local downtown dazzled with lights and hot cocoa.
But first, Park Center's girls basketball team is impressive in its season opener. Jay Wilcox has that and more next in sports.
Jay Wilcox is here now with sports.
Jay, when it comes to girls basketball in our area, Park Center seems like they're the team to beat.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good run here, and it looks like it'll be the same this winter. With a very experienced and talented group, the Park Center girls basketball team should be very strong this winter. The Pirates were impressive in their season opener against Eden Prairie. First half, Ann Simonette with a quick pass to Megan Dubois, and she hits a three-pointer from the corner for PC. Danielle Schaub drives and scores here as the Pirates open up a 12-0 lead to start this game. Nice passing, Summer Blakemore to Simonette to Charo Nickens for the hoop. And then nice passing again for Park Center as Michaela Hayes will get a short jumper to drop the Pirates lead 30-13 at halftime. Park Center starts the second half with another 12-0 run. The three by Blakemore gives the Pirates a 40-13 lead. And Nickens gets a steal to start the break, and then she'll get a return pass from Schaub for the basket and a 53-19 Pirates lead. 5 Pirates score at least 8 points in the game. They go on to win big, 62-23. Cooper and Armstrong played a 2-point game to start the girls' basketball season a year ago. The two District 281 rivals tipped off Thursday night in the Falcons' first game of the year. Cooper coming in at 1-0. Armstrong's Elizabeth Brightback lobs a long pass over the press to Jordan Bloom. She goes in for a layup, giving the Falcons a 10-7 lead. Masengo Mutanda is Armstrong's top returning scorer. Her runner off the glass gives the Falcons their biggest lead of the night, 16-9. The Hawks chip away at that lead, and T.T. Long's three-pointer from the corner ties the game at 17. Cooper takes a 3-point lead into halftime, 27-24. Early second half, and Drew Gaston buries a 3 for the Hawks to open up a 6-point lead. Gaston leads Cooper with 17 points. Cooper gets scoring from a lot of players, too. Lauren Johnson with an offensive rebound and basket. She scores 8 second-half points. Then it's Gaston back to work again, driving and scoring. The Hawks go up 62-48. Despite 28 points for the Falcons, Mutanda, it's Cooper pulling away to win 70-52. Armstrong plays at Simley tonight. December is here, which should mean winter outdoor sports aren't far behind. John Jacobson has more from the 24th Annual Ice Fishing and Winter Sports Show in St. Paul.
Well, thanks, Jay. We are at the annual ice show here in downtown St. Paul and joined by Terry Tuma. And Terry, it's seemed like winter is on the way finally after a very mild fall and a good November. Well, that ice is just around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, John, and thank you. Yes, the forecast that's coming in, it's going to get everybody pretty pumped, pretty excited about coming to the St. Paul Ice Fishing Show. And it will not take, everybody's asking, well, when are you going to have good ice, good ice? But with those kind of temperatures, the lakes are right there right now. So it won't take long for them to freeze. Probably we'll have a lot of wind or a lot of snow.
What does an angler need to look for early in the season compared to maybe later in the season as far as fishing conditions?
Well, I think first of all is, just good ice, John. And if we're in doubt, if you're the only one on the lake, I'd probably caution it somewhat, not to push it. But you can, I call it read the ice, where you can, if it's clear, you can actually look at and see what the thickness is, like, if it's very strong, if you will. If there's some minute cracks, that's usually an indication of good ice. But if you're not sure, take an ice chisel or something with you, or an auger, hand auger, and just punch or drill some holes ahead of you.
Tell me what kinds of things people will see here this weekend if they come down to the River Center.
Well, John, there's over 190 exhibitors, so there's all kinds of new products. Clam's got a ton of new products. Many of the exhibitors, there's some brand new items I haven't seen before. I just had an opportunity to walk the show just for a few minutes, and there's a ton of new products out here. It's a great event, not only to save some dollars, but also just to view all the new products. You got all the wheelhouses and so forth, so there's a lot to see. It's a day event, really.
Thanks, Terry, and you can come down to the River Center here in St. Paul through Sunday to check out everything that's going on here at the Ice Show and Terry's seminar Saturday at noon. Jay, back to you.
Thanks, John and Terry. Ice show hours are from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday. And even if you're not super into ice fishing, there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
There is. I think Terry's ready for the ice, though.
Oh,
You
no
can
doubt.
tell.
No doubt about it.
Thanks, Jay. Still ahead, a good reason to sharpen your skates.
Plus, letters to Santa and a Santa visit. We'll be right back.
Well, why complain about the cold when you can put on a pair of skates and embrace winter at Maple Grove's Ice Skating Loop? You are looking at a few of the skaters, perhaps some high school students enjoying the day off in the Osseo School District, and they are taking a skate on the refrigerated ice loop. The loop at Central Park is open once again after more than 66,000 visitors used it last year during its inaugural year. A reminder, skating is free and skate rentals are available. Well, letters to Santa are now starting to head to the North Pole, postmarked Golden Valley, Minnesota.
At Golden Valley's Brookview Community Center, there is a special mailbox just waiting for your letters to Santa. The Direct to the North Pole mailbox is accepting letters until December 16th. Santa requests each letter include the full name and address of the sender, so of course Santa can send a reply. And finally, in Osseo, Santa will be hanging around as a holiday tradition is set to roll down Central Avenue once again.
Osseo's Minidazzle kicks off with a light-filled parade in downtown tonight. That's Friday evening starting at 6 o'clock. The annual Christmas and holiday celebration features a roaring bonfire too, a chance to make a donation to Toys for Tots, and there's hot cocoa, cookies, and other treats to help keep everyone warm. Minidazzle also runs on Saturday night as well in downtown Osseo. Should be good nights for both of those.
Lots of things to do this holiday season.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all just starting, right?
That's right.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.